Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name is Nick and today we're jumping down into the world of Cardano's ADA, taking a look at what's been going on most recently with the price action and what I expect to happen next. As we get into the video, you know what to do. Hit the like button. I do appreciate that. If you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, tap the bell, select all the notifications, and you will not miss another live stream or video that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. And don't forget, in the description down below, we also have our links to our Discord server. It's a fantastic place. Why not check it out? I don't think you'll be disappointed by what you find down there. Okay, let's talk a little bit Cardano. Okay, Cardano paired up with USDT here on the hourly chart. Binance is our data source. Now, for the most part, last time we were talking about this, we were expecting maybe a little bit of a surge to the upside just to finish off this fifth wave. However, we've actually broken down, and we've broken down so significantly, I think it's pretty much safe to say that we were never trending up in a five-wave structure. Okay, so let's actually just review where we are. Let's just pull this back down just a fraction. We can review that we have had a five-wave drop to the downside. We can argue whether or not we actually hit our low point down here before starting to move on up, or whether this is actually a 335 structure or something to that effect, or whether this is all just a big ABC correction, and now we're looking to come to the downside. Essentially, we were trending to the downside over here ever since we hit this 59.48 cent range. Let me just grab my arrow here. Basically, we were trending down. We then started to see this move to the upside, and again, we did really, really well recently, kind of really pushing that price action up here into our expected range. This basically booming between 49.56 and 56.97. Okay, this is the area that we kind of think is a typical kind of wave 2 retracement zone. Now, the issue here is potentially this move that we actually come down into this little lower range. Let me just map out and show you what that looks like. Just whether or not this is our fifth wave low point, or whether our fifth wave low point is here at 43.47. Let's go ahead and just check this out. Okay, so we can see that we did actually drop down quite significantly. So we could potentially take a look at our wave 3 being down here, our wave 4 being up here, and our final fifth wave, if I can grab hold of the right level, being down here. Okay, if we grab a Fibonacci retracement tool, we're just going to go ahead and grab it from our low point down here at 43.47. We're going to take it up to this higher range just up here. I can grab hold of that wick right on that one there. Okay, so basically that high point comes in at 48.20, and you can see that we came down right into here onto this 1.236 range. Let me just move our yellow box just a fraction more down just into here. This basically confirms our fifth wave was hit at this particular point just here. Okay, I can go ahead and just remove that, for example, and we can kind of see how that plays out. Now, I don't like the count. It's not the best count in the world, but it's definitely one that kind of says that we're down here at the bottom. Now, we've got a couple of options. We can look at it as an expanding flat. That's something that we were talking about before, but that has to end in 5 waves. And the fact that we didn't really have that completed move up here at 51.67 basically means that it's more than likely this is the correct count. So I'm going to keep it like this for now. I'm just going to remove this off. And I'm going to remove that one, and I'll remove these. I'll also, for the sake of this video, also remove our higher expectations here, since we have broken down. Now we have broken down way lower than our wave 1, as indicated down here. We can now talk about this being just a wave 1, wave 2, wave 3 structure like so. And inside this, it looks like we might end up with something else going on in here and ending diagonal, who knows. But basically, that's a 3-wave structure at this point, because we cannot have an overlap with wave 4 crossing our wave 1. So essentially it's 3 waves up, and it again comes up into this range between 49.56 and 56.97, which is a typical wave 2 retracement zone, anywhere between 50 and 88.2%. Now, this could also be a B wave. B waves are unpredictable. They could end up there as well, meaning that we have 2 options. Okay, our options are that we are either going to see an A, B, C zigzag, or we are going to see a 5-wave structure with 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. These are the 2 different variables that are available to us under the current structures. We've got 5 waves down, and those are the only 2 wave counts that start with 5 waves. So knowing that we've got a 5-wave down, we've got a 3-wave up, the next expectation is a 5-wave structure down. Okay, that's the next thing that we should be thinking about. And that basically means on a 1-to-1 ratio, on an ABC zigzag, we have a pretty clear structure. We have an understanding as to where that's likely to go. If I measure this entire distance of our first 5 waves, move this over into our top of our bounce just here, okay, so this one right up here, that basically tells us that we should be thinking about 36.51 cents. Okay, that's the best case scenario for Cardano here. So basically, it's an A wave down, B wave up, and C wave coming down to that 36-cent range. Now, alternatively, that's the more bearish scenario that could play out is our 1 through 5. This basically means that this is a wave 1 down here, the first 5 waves, 3 waves up into wave 2, pulling back down to 29.6 cent as our wave 3. We bounce, and then we pull back down a little bit lower. Okay, now that there is a 5-wave structure that would actually then tie up nicely with potentially this first 5 waves on this side. Okay, and basically if I just bring this back down, all of this would be a zigzag A, B, and C. Okay, and basically that puts us into our low range here between 28 and 34 cent. That's a nice and neat way of looking at it, but it is of course a more bearish scenario. So, until proven, we should be, skeptical, but essentially we've started with 5 waves to the downside here. We've got 3 waves up. We're looking for 5 waves down, and it's a 5, 3, 5, 3, 5. Basically, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a big structure as I just mapped out. So for Cardano here, there isn't a lot of kind of, bullish sentiment to be thinking about. Essentially, the markets are fragile at best. That's a good way of kind of articulating them at the moment. So we've got a good 5-wave structure just inside here. Let me show you. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 just inside here. At the moment, we've got overlap again happening here. Okay, and so this one is a high of 46.60. This one is a low of 46.58, so there's a slight overlap. That basically creates an invalidation of 5 waves up, and this becomes 1, 2, and 3. Okay, now we'll look for another 5 waves to the downside to move into our kind of final move coming on down here as we kind of scale this out, right? Essentially, what this first little move here, it represents this kind of worst first little area here. Then the wave 2 is the kind of bounce that we're on here. Then we look for this next big wave 3 to come in and take us down significantly lower. So ultimately, Cardano is looking a little bit on the bearish side right now. But again, this shouldn't be unexpected. We've been talking about these things on the channel for quite some time. But yeah, that's kind of where I place Cardano at the moment, looking like we're coming down. Now, from a stochastic RSI point of view, we have some momentum on our hourly chart. That's given. The 4-hourly chart's also got some momentum to it. But the 8-hourly and daily, I think, so the 8-hourly's got some momentum. The daily needs to see this correction come down significantly lower. So does the weekly. So there's a little bit of volatility to be expected on the 1, 4, and 8-hour charts, but for the most part, down seems to be the direction that Cardano is likely to go. You might get some volatility just around the kind of the 𝗲𝗂 hard fork and all those kind of things, but for the most part, we are still looking at our low accumulation zones and new lower lows for Cardano on the kind of horizon in the medium term. So guys, I'm going to leave the video there. If you found it useful and informative, hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you will not miss another live stream or video as we do here at Cheeky Crypto. And with all that said, done and out of the way, I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.